I want to welcome our guests this morning, Angela Nix and Toby Cook. Angela with the Fisher House. What is your exact title? Tell me it's something fancy.
Of course it is.
Yes.
So it is. I'm actually the assistant director for the Kansas City VA Medical Center, and I'm here on behalf of the Fisher House Foundation.
Toby Cook, what is your exact title?
It's grown, it's expanded, and then it contracted.
Okay.
A few years ago, I was the vice president of community affairs and publicity, and now I'm just the vice president of publicity. And somehow I have twice as much work, even though they halved my title. So I'm the VP of publicity and/or royal spokesperson.
Welcome to you both.
Welcome.
Taylor, what is your actual title?
I don't even know my
Can I
title.
get a title?
Side chick, girl, hey you. That is my title.
I am a button pusher.
Yes.
So I have one. Angela, let's talk about the Fisher House. But first, I want to start with the Kansas City VA. I think a lot of people know what the VA is in general. But will you remind us what the VA does and then talk about specifically the Kansas City Metro VA and what it looks like?
Sure. So the VA as a whole, of course, it's a nationwide organization, even places in Puerto Rico and the Philippines. And of course, we are here for the health and benefit of our nation's heroes, our veterans. Here in Kansas City VA, we've been here since the late 40s, early 50s, the campus on Linwood. We treat about 50,000 veterans every year at that site, and then our many community-based outpatient clinics across the metro area. We offer primary care services to veterans, mental health services, specialty care services, cardiology, dermatology, all of those things. And then we also have inpatient medical surgical type care as well.
Now, we were talking before and I knew there was a VA campus, but you said it's a lot more than just that campus.
It is. So that's what we call our main campus. But we also have a site that's literally 5 miles up the road off Sterling Avenue, close to the stadiums. Mm-hmm. It's called our Honor Annex. The Royals helped us with a little kids section there a few years ago. We also have sites here in Shawnee. We have 2 sites. One is a primary care site and one is for radiation oncology, which is a very specialized program. We also have sites in Paola, in Nevada, in Warrensburg.
There's a lot of heroes out there that need a lot of these services.
And we're happy to provide it to them.
Now let's talk about the Fisher House, which will be the next step, right, in the Kansas City VA.
Absolutely. So we are very lucky to be approved not only through our VA nationwide, but also through the Fisher House Foundation to get a Fisher House here in Kansas City. It will be the first, the only one so far. It's the second one in the state, but we're not going to talk about that other city that has one. We're just going to focus on ours, right? And so the Fisher House, we felt like we really needed it in an effort to ensure the families of our veterans who are staying long-term in our hospital have a place to stay for free. Wow. Right now, they may have to travel back and forth to home, or they have to stay in a hotel, which is a huge expense. So this Fisher House will help them be able to be close to their loved ones and stay for free. And some of our veterans who have many appointments back-to-back, say they're getting chemotherapy or dialysis, they and their family would have an opportunity to stay overnight there so they're not traveling back and forth every single day.
Now, what's your goal for the Fisher House? Because obviously it takes money to build something like this.
It does. It is a project that is $6.4 million to build. The Fisher House Foundation spares no expense when they build one of these. It is 5-star all the way. And it will be a 16-suite Fisher House. So it's kind of like a 16-bed home. It's over 13,000 square feet. And it's something that when it is built, the VA does take control over it and works on maintaining it and keeping it up to standards.
So the goal is for us all to come together, donate, build the house, and then the VA, it just becomes part of that.
Right. I mean, what a neat thing if you or your family or whomever goes to the Diamond of Dreams event and buys a ticket or gets something on the auction, you can say, I helped build that Fisher House in Kansas City. What a cool thing to be able to say.
And you don't necessarily have to attend the event to help out. How else can our listeners help out?
Right. So multiple ways. So with the Diamond of Dreams event, they do have an auction website, and that is www.diamond18.gesture.com. I hear that there's some pretty awesome prizes out there to bid on.
Brady already bidded on something.
Dang it, Toby. I got a bone to pick with you, buddy.
What did you bid on?
I already broke out my credit card this morning. Let's talk about the auction, and then I'll tell you what I bid on. Tell us about this auction.
Yeah, so Diamond of Dreams, it's Thursday, June the 14th on the field at Kauffman Stadium. We have a VIP party for sponsors ahead of time, and then the public event is from 7 to 10. It's $200.
Yeah.
Now, $200 isn't something you throw around every day, but from a charity perspective of going to an event and having an experience, I don't think that there's anything like it in Kansas City. Well, I know there isn't because it's a Major League Baseball field that you get to go down and experience. And we're going to have recording artist Rachel Platten, thanks to you. We're going to have all of current and former players, food and drink on the field. But a part of it is just raising money for the Fisher House and our friends at the VA. And we beg, borrow, and steal these auction ideas from people all over the stadium for years. And we've got the best slew of auction items we've ever had. And what we've really learned is that you can auction off all day long a framed jersey of so-and-so from the 2014 wild card game. Or
Right.
But what people really dig are these experiences that
Yep.
they couldn't get otherwise, and be able to hang out with people that they wouldn't be able to spend some time with. One of the coolest, I think, isn't even involving a player. It's our manager, Dayton Moore, who is going to have the winner of this auction hang out with him in his suite for the entire game during a game. Now, if I could set the stage,
Yes.
in his suite, it's Dayton, and Dayton's salt of the earth. He's a
Yes.
really easygoing guy, but it's kind of intense when you walk in there because in his suite is Dayton, and sometimes George Brett is hanging out in there giving him thoughts on the game.
No
and
big deal.
John Wathen, who's been with the team for a long time, and a couple of scouts. It is a blast to sit in there because first of all, you'll eat, and then you'll watch the entire game. And if Dayton might chat with you a little bit, and then if he yells out something like, "I really wasn't crazy about the lack of hustle by so-and-so," you get to hear it. And it's just, so these experiences are kind of what we're driving at.
I'll tell you what, I met Dayton Moore once. He signed a book for me, one of his books that he had written. And in it, he made mention, because I had my girls with me, and he said, "You have a beautiful family." It was we chatted for and it was very impactful. So I cannot imagine a guy that not only is super nice, but super successful, to be able to experience a game with him would be amazing. And when you talk about experiences, here's what I bid on already. I bid on the kids hot dog derby, right? So here's what you get. I already bid on it. Now I forgot, but it's 3 kids under 10 get to run the hot dog race, and you get tickets in the dugout suite.
Yep.
And I have the first bid. So if you guys would please not bid on I'm kidding. Please bid, but I'm already in it to win it. So how amazing would it be to watch your kids?
Yep.
And also, I would like to sneak in because I'm much faster than my 3-year-old. I just want you guys to know right now, I can almost guarantee.
Well, and if you knock your 3-year-old down, that gives you an advantage to get all the way to the end.
Right.
Because we've seen that happen before with the hot dog races.
I'm not afraid, Toby, to do that. What are some of your other favorite
what's the
experiences?
hottest item?
Yeah.
Well, I haven't looked at it this morning, but I'll tell you, if you are a collector. So I talked about the experiences, and there are going to be some really neat ones, including one with Jorge Soler, our right fielder, who I think is about as exciting as any player that we have on the team right now. The guy can hit the ball on I-70 without spending too much time or too much effort. But we do have physical items as well, and we're celebrating the 50 years of Royals baseball this year. So we started in 1969. This is the 50th season, and each weekend we're having former players in to celebrate a kind of a theme of the 50 years of baseball. Last month we had a pretty strong listing. Well, basically I called them the top 11 because they were the 11 players that were still living that go down in history with the Royals, starting from George Brett, Frank White, Willie Wilson, Amos Otis, who was my favorite player when in the 70s, through that outfield, Johnny Damon, Jermaine Dye, Carlos Beltran, Mike Sweeney. And we've collected a collection of 20 bats that guys have signed, 20 different players that basically represent all of the generations of Royals baseball. So if you can imagine, if you are a baseball collector, and I mean that in the fun sense,
Right.
not the
Right.
crazy collector who gets stuff and then sells it and all that. I'm talking about, this would be the ultimate man cave experience. 20 baseball bats that are signed by all of those stars. I think that's going to be a big deal. And if that's not something that you are crazy about, I think that this one is funny. There's a new Jewish delicatessen in town called Broadway Deli. I know that they probably didn't buy any advertising here, but I just threw them out there.
No
and
worries.
Joel Goldberg, who hosts the pre- and post-game show on Fox Sports Kansas City, has agreed to have lunch with folks in just a easygoing, good lunch, and I asked him about it, and he was so excited. He has a sandwich named after him. So,
really?
Yeah.
You
So
gonna have a Goldberg with Goldberg?
Yes, correct. The Goldberg with Goldberg.
I mean,
at a deli downtown. So it runs the gamut.
There really
That's
is some
perfect.
amazing stuff. You can work on the grounds crew. You can take home some stadium seats. They have a package for the Billy Joel show. You can be the play ball kid. You can be the play ball kid. What's the age limit on that?
I was just going to ask.
Well, we have had. I would say that
Am I? No, I don't.
we.
Let's
Barely
hear it.
can grow any facial
You
hair.
need to audition first. What's your
I
audition?
would bid on it, and then see what your conscience tells you about
Oh,
whether you
okay.
should be the one
All
walking
right,
out there
all
or
right. This
a
guy
younger
from
person.
the charities is always with the reasonable things. Now, give us how we can find. So, will these auction items, by the way, so we can bid on them now
Yes.
online? Will that auction continue through the event?
Correct. It continues through the event until we close the thing down. The Diamond of Dreams event goes through 10 o'clock, and Rachel Platten will perform. And generally, and you guys have been out there,
Yeah.
kind of wraps up, and then we have about 10 or 15 minutes, but we close off the auction kind of in the middle of that concert. And so you can bid on it from right there, right up until the middle of the evening. But if you want to see some of these things with your own eyes, you
Yeah.
can go to the event and see it. And we'd love to have a few more people down on the field for Diamond of Dreams.
Yeah, definitely. It's so much fun. It is. It's an amazing thing to stand in center field, especially as a lifelong Royals fan like myself, to stand in spots where you remember specific plays and just like take it all in from that perspective.
Is that
amazing.
why you lie down around third base?
Listen,
I remember
also-
this moment from a
Hey,
couple
listen,
years
I get
ago.
worn out. And maybe I did lay down on third base.
Is that what the kids are calling it these days?
it
Worn out?
has,
Worn
it
out.
has nothing to do with my love of George Brett. Let's not make this weird at all. Nothing at all. I promise. So Toby, tell us, we know at 997thepoint.com, you can go and you can end up at the auction list. Do you have a direct link to the auction?
We have it on a couple of different things. The website that Angela mentioned, and then also if you just go to royals.com/Diamond of Dreams, you can buy the tickets. Tickets are still available, and then there's a link right there. So you can continue to bid right up until the point that we shut the thing down next Thursday.
Rachel Platten, fireworks, sluggers there. Mr. Glass is hanging out.
Yep.
I mean, it's kind of amazing, whether you're a Royals fan or not, just to be on Major League Baseball field. The Fisher House, if you don't, you can directly donate. Let's talk about that, Angela.
Sure. So Kansas City Fisher House specifically does have a link that maybe you can't go to the event or you want to just donate straight to it. You can, and that website is www.donate.fisherhouse.org/Kansas City. It's a bit of a mouthful.
Sure,
But
sure. And what about if just somebody goes, oh yeah, like me, I knew the VA was a thing. I didn't know much about it. How do we find out more about the Kansas City VA?
Sure. So we have a website. We're on social media, Facebook, Twitter, all of those events. You
Okay.
can also call Kansas City VA's voluntary service. If you're interested in volunteering or donating to anything, you can call them and they can kind of walk you through how to get that done.
Toby, I wanted to say congratulations to Royals Charities. I know you guys, I was saying this, it seems like Royals Charities has really stepped it up over the past 5 years. Not you guys have been around, right?
Right.
But it's really been an impressive run lately.
It has been. It's been the most gratifying thing about working at the Royals. When I started in 2006, we were a $300,000 organization, and now we're giving away about $2.3 million. So
Wow.
we jumped up about $2 million in that time frame. Some of it had to do with the fact that the team got good.
Sure.
And we were ready for it. I mean,
Yeah.
we worked really, really hard while we were struggling, and then when we became competitive and then went off to World Series, we were ready to ride that wave, and the wave hasn't gone down since. We've seen the kind of the effects. And the other thing that I always have to remind myself is that I could go from one event to the other event, and how much money did we raise? How much media coverage did we get? But real people are being affected in major ways. We have two ushers at the Royals, Bill and Candy Wolf, who are both veterans, who have both stayed at a Fisher House in Houston. And they attested to us right through this process. It just was a lifesaver.
Yeah.
Because they went down to Houston, and to be able to stay there was so much easier than staying somewhere else or getting a motel and driving across town. The fact that it gets to happen here in Kansas City, we try to remind ourselves of the real people that are going to be affected by it.
Well, and here's an opportunity for a great experience, whether it's on the field at Diamond of Dreams, to buy one of these experiences in an auction, or, we can help. and we can have a little bit of effect. And also these Royal players, they're hanging out
They
on
are.
their off day on the field, meeting with us, and they're involved as well.
Can I tell you a little secret about
Please.
Please
Here's
do.
your little
Yes.
insight.
Yes.
So we were in a transition period with the team.
Sure.
That's the PR guy saying we're in a transition period with the Royals from when we've got a lot of new guys and a lot of guys that probably could walk around when they're not in their uniform and they don't instantly get recognized like Salvador Perez or Whit Merrifield.
Yeah.
Now, Whit Merrifield is going to be here and he's going to be the Eric Hosmer of this group where there's going to be a line for pictures. But it really is fun for us to see some of these guys come out and you might not realize
Right.
that that's Brad Keller or that's one of our relief pitchers who's kind of new and they have a blast.
Yeah.
And then you realize that he's standing next to Whit Merrifield, and then you do this double take, and you realize he's a Royals player. And it's fun for us to say, come out. You don't have to sign autographs. Take some pictures, eat and drink on the field, and it's a blast to see how much fun that they have.
One of my favorite pictures of all time is with me, and I had a short conversation and kind of a fun conversation with Giordano Ventura.
Yeah.
Couple years ago, and I got a picture with him, and we talked about his walk-up music a little bit. It wasn't a big deal, but what a story for me to tell, and I still think about that. So congrats to Royals Charities. One more question, Toby.
Yep.
Big Slick just happened, and another amazing event. Did a whole lot of good, raised a ton of money. Do you have a fun story about one of the celebrities from Big Slick? I mean, they take over the K on some
They
level.
do take over the K.
Are you hanging out with them?
I'm
not
over.
hanging out? You're working.
I'm over at the little kids card table at Thanksgiving with the with the local media.
Yeah.
So CBS Morning News and the Today Show came and they got to be embedded with
Oh.
them. That means that they got to go on the field and they had the vests and all that. And my friend Karen Kornacki and from Channel 9 and me and a couple of others from the local, we're standing over there going, that looks like fun over there. You know? But I mean, it's my favorite moment of it.
Yeah.
It gets to be so busy that it's hard for us to celebrity gawk.
Yeah.
But Sarah Chalk, who was on Scrubs and a couple of other programs, she scored and did the splits at home plate, then stood up and did this cute little curtsy thing. And I think somebody was talking to me at the time, and I had completely zoned in on home plate, and I was like,
What in the world?
Toby.
Could we
I
talk
love
to Jorge Soler about doing that move next time he
should.
hits a home run? Maybe
We should.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Maybe that would be cool. Toby Cook with the Royals, thank you so
Thank you,
much.
guys.
And we look forward to seeing you at Diamond of Dreams. A reminder, tickets still available. And again, it's for a good cause and it's an amazing experience. And if you can, you should really try it. Angela and Nix, so nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
Thank
Thanks for
you
having
for
me.
coming in. We appreciate it. Taylor, nice to see you
Nice
as
to
well.
meet you,
Good
Brady.
to see
Yes,
you.
this
It's good
was
to talk
my
to you.
pleasure.
We'll see you at Diamond of Dreams, right?
I'll
You'll
see
be
you in
there.
like a minute. Yeah.
We'll see you. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.